I think. Yeah, we definitely are. Reggae Boys fans, good evening. How is everybody doing? I hope all is well with everybody. Welcome, welcome to another edition of Reggae Boys Commentary. Wow, look at the journey we have taken. 8, 9 months ago, we started this Thursday chat, and look where we are, on the cusp of 7,000 subscribers. Look at that. All down to your hard work. For many of you in this live stream, you have been part of this journey since March 2016. Almost 5-year anniversary. Yeah. You all will remember the days in 2016 of the 2018 World Cup qualifiers and about the journey from the Caribbean Cup experience and also the Copa America experience, that journey down to Chile. So, to all the loyal subscribers that have been part of that journey from day one, I appreciate it. Before we get into 2020, the year in review, and everything like that, I have seen all of your comments. I know what you guys want as well regarding my thoughts of a potential starting 11 and a potential squad for the World Cup qualifiers. I am working on that right now, and in the next couple of weeks, I hope to show that to you tactically how I would be comfortable, how we play home and away. I've often said on this channel that I would like us to have a different sort of setup when we're away from home, specifically against Panama, Costa Rica, Honduras, El Salvador. So I will touch on that in a future video, so you can stay tuned for that. And a lot of question marks about Michael Hector, his best position, is it centre half, is it holding midfield? And I will touch on that element as well, and other players. So you can look out for that in the foreseeable future. What I will say is this before we talk about what 2020 has meant for Jamaica, 2020 has meant for the Reggae Boys. Tell me something. Is there a better, not better, sorry, is there a more informed number 9 right now in England than Ivan Toney? Tell me, if you think there's a better number 9 right now in England, not better, a more informed number 9 right now, and I'll end the live stream. This guy is literally on fire. This man knows where the back of the net is. If he had one eye, he would be able to find it just like that. And that's why if Brentford don't get promoted to the Premier League, this guy could be in the Premier League as early as January. That's how good he is. And you know the frightening aspect about it as well. Gareth Southgate has sent his assistant, Steve Holland, to go and watch some of the games at Brentford. Yeah, he has. And Ivan Toney, we've spoken about at length for about 4-5 months, especially at his time at his previous club before joining Brentford. Of course, he came in to replace Ollie Watkins as Watkins went into the Premier League. Ivan Toney, well, Leon Bailey and Bayer Leverkusen, they're into the round of 32 of the UEFA Europa League, got the better of Nice 3-2 today. Bailey has been quite impressive in the Europa League this season. 3 goals, 2 assists in 4 games, well, now 5 games. Now into the round of 32, who knows who they could play? They could play Real Madrid, they could be AC Milan, could be Arsenal, it could be Tottenham. I just want Leon Bailey to come up against an England team so that he can come to England, have more eyeballs on him, and people can see his ability. I think he did well March last year to come to the UK and play against Rangers in Scotland. There were certainly a lot of eyes on him. So just to come south of the border now to make an impact, that would just be absolutely fantastic. And we hope that, all will be well where that is concerned. West Morgan and Leicester City, they lost today to Zorya Luhansk, but they still remain at the top of the group in the UEFA Europa League. Other than that element, Shamar Nicholson, he's back in the starting 11 of Charleroi, which is great. There's been a few reports about Belgian journalists and their thoughts about Nicholson. They have spoken about him working on the finer details, specifically his finishing with back to goal, and in addition to that, being able to make the right decisions. And I think that's something that will come with time, and that's why I'm not ready to rush him beyond outside of Belgium. This season, and at least half of the next season in Belgium. And I think he'll be ready for whether it's Germany, whether it's France, whether it's English champ, or whether it's Italy. Another year and a half, or at least another year, another 12 months in Belgium, I think would be great for the development of Shamar Nicholson. Daniel Gordon, you guys remember him? Daniel Gordon played 5 games for the Reggae Boys from 2013 to 2015, scored 1 goal in 5 appearances, scored against Cuba at the Montego Bay Sports Complex, made his debut against Mexico at the office, but his first game for Jamaica was that 0-0 draw against Tottenham Hotspur over in the Bahamas. He scored against Paderborn in the German second tier, so they're just a few points off the playoffs, which means that they could have a possibility of advancing to the, promoted to the German Bundesliga next season, which is outstanding. He is in the last year of his contract, but based on what I understand, he has the option of extending it 1 more year. So that's great. And how could we ever forget the boss? Everybody knows who the boss is, don't we? The boss is none other than Adrian Mariappa. Now, Adrian made his debut at right back for Bristol City. He wasn't at any fault for the goal that was conceded. It had nothing to do with his side of the pitch. 2-1 win over Queen's Park Rangers. Got up extremely high. And although he'll be playing mostly at centre half for Jamaica, I do have an issue with him playing at right back because this allows him to really expand on his creative aspect, because his ball movement and his ability on the ball in the CONCACAF is highly underrated. Let's not forget, this is a guy that had the most key passes and the highest successful rate in passes as it relates to the CONCACAF Nations League. So it should not be undervalued, it should not be underrated, and it should not be forgotten about, because this is a player that I feel at his best can offer Jamaica another 2 more years at his best. He says he can play until he's 40, but let's see how things progress. English Championship is still a decent level. Still a decent level. There's no shame in somebody playing in the English Championship. If you told me that I would play in the English Championship for the rest of my career, although it would be disappointing not to have an experience in the Premier League, but I'd be excited just to play in that league, because the hustle and bustle it is of that league. You know what I mean? So I think it's outstanding. Let's see if as well if he'll be able to get that new deal in January to extend his deal to the summer of 2021. And like I said, Damion Lowe at Etihad Alexandria in Egypt. Unfortunately, they didn't advance to the final of the Egyptian Cup. It's a young team, and Damion wasn't at fault for me for any of the goals. And he's clearly in an environment where he's going to get games. He got a couple at Phoenix, yes, but it was just a handful. But this will certainly get him back into rhythm, because this is a player that hasn't been kicked a ball much since leaving Start. So for me, it's about being able to be in an environment where he's going to get the minutes, he's going to get games, get accustomed to a new culture and a new lifestyle, And something as a professional footballer, this is all that you need in order to take your game to the next level. It might not be Europe, but at the same time, he's in an environment where he knows that he's going to be nurturing and maturing players around him. And this can aid the national team because he's the one shouting instructions. He's the one giving advice to his teammates. You know? Usually in a national setup it's Adrian Mariappa that has to keep him calm and composed, or Hector. But now he's the one playing that role at his club. So a new skill is being developed here. So it's a 1 year contract. Although they might want him for longer than that, I have no issue with him signing for 1 year and then exploring his options in Europe. And trust me, there are options. And put it this way, there are plenty. There are plenty options in Europe, I'm telling you. Eastern Europe, Western Europe, you name it. There are options out there for Nana Lowe. Yeah, for sure. Let me have a look at what you guys are saying in the comments. Chris the sports guy says, "What's up? I'm doing good." Dave Nicholson says, "Big up." I say, "Big up." Bless up. I say, "Bless up." Adam Armstrong. Yeah, Armstrong is a decent player. Bravo says, "Toney now play for Jamaica." Really? Is that so? I didn't know you could predict the future. Up top Wayne. Why Shamar Nicholson did not play none of the 2 matches? Because he had the virus. Have Jamaica approach Isaac Hayden? Simon, where do you think we lack depth in quality? I would say holding midfield. And who do you think could add most likely step into add depth? Hayden, Stewart. But if you look at Daniel Johnson at Preston, he plays a bit higher than what he did in those 2 games for Jamaica. Although it's a role that he can play, that number 6 position, I feel much more comfortable with him playing in much higher. Remember, this is a guy that had double-digit goals and assists for Preston last season, you know. This is the championship player of the season last year. So for me, I am more comfortable with him either in an 8 or a 10. Although Ravel will be the one that finds that acute passes. A number 8 at least for me, for Daniel. The odd game as a number 6, fine. But we need to find a way to get Daniel playing a bit higher so that we can have somebody to sit in front of the back 4. I don't think we're going to call back Rudolph Austin. I don't think so at all. Javon Watson. Nah. And like I said, if Hayden is iffing and butting, then Michael Hector can sit. We definitely need more depth at CB. Centre back position is always an area where I think that you do need depth. Right now, you speak about Mariappa, you speak about Lowe, you speak about Hector. Outside of that, it really is a stretch, isn't it? We saw Kevin Lambert play that position against Saudi Arabia. We know he's not a centre half. So it's an area that we will need depth in, you know. Liam Moore is working on the passport, so that will certainly give an additional option. But I would say one more. And that might mean that a local player is given an opportunity. Jamoy Topi? Why not? I have no problem with Topi being part of the mix. How did Mariappa play versus QPR? I would say a 7 out of 10. A pretty standard Adrian Mariappa performance. 7, 8 out of 10 performance. Did what he needed to do. Gave advice when necessary. And looked quite comfortable in his surroundings. What is the most well-organized and financially sound Caribbean Football Federation? Financially sound. Curacao is financially sound. Anything on Nathan Ferguson? No. Is Ivan Toney interested in playing for Jamaica? Yes, he is. Blake should try Bundesliga or Liga. Well, the thing is, Andre Blake has signed a long-term deal at Philadelphia Union, so for me, this raises one of two things. Either he sees his long-term future in the MLS, or a new contract allows the MLS to get a bit more US dollars out of him to sell him long term. Up to the summer, Crystal Palace were interested in him, and that's Roy Hodgson. Are they going to make an attempt in January? I don't think so. That's my instinct. I don't think so. But he is 30, so that's another 10 years of his career for me. Let's see what the next 3 years bring up, but certainly Liga, Bundesliga are leagues that he's more than capable of finding a team that can play at least in the Europa League. And yeah. What are the chances Dijon, Sterling, and Reece Oxford play in the 2022 cycle? Sterling, I don't think so. Reece Oxford, a chance, but a slim one. I wouldn't say that he's definitely going to be part of the mix, but Reece Oxford would hit closer to home because, we know of Oxford's family ties here in Jamaica with Neville Oxford and Neil Oxford, etc. Yes, we did move up to the top 50 we still moved up one place in the FIFA rankings. We're 47th now. This is as a result of what has happened in other confederations, because Scotland lost a game in the UEFA Nations League to Slovakia, I think, and Ghana lost a game in the African Cup of Nations qualifiers. So based on those two results, Jamaica were able to move up one spot in the rankings. Andrew Allen, is there any players in Spain or Italy and Germany apart from Bailey that can represent Jamaica? And if there is, could you please get their names? Spain, no. Italy, Jovan Anderson. Germany, Jamie Lawrence, Ricardo Henning. Yeah, I know there was a player at Mines by the name of Sean Parker, but he turned us down under Winfred Schaefer. There was Royal Dominique Fennell, but he also turned it down. Jamaica. Germany. So far, that's that. And of course, we know about the likes of Michael Seaton and Daniel Gordon, who are already playing their trade in Germany. So, yeah. Which club Norman Campbell play? Now he's on loan at FK Grafikar in Serbia, and they're the feeder club for the number one team in the country, which is Red Star Belgrade, a team that has won the European Cup and one of the most hostile venues in all of Europe. Casey Palmer apparently wants to play for Jamaica, Simon. Oh yeah? I would love to play for Jamaica too, but guess what? At the end of the day, 11 players take the field, and at the end of the day, the best 11 takes the field. Do you see Lewis Baker and Raheem Harper playing for the Reggae Boys soon? No. Andre Gray is getting his Jamaican passport as we speak. David Nicholson says, I see more Roof and Aarons as the new additions for mids at 2021 at the moment, but that could certainly change. Yeah, see those additions for sure. Do you see Max Aarons playing for Jamaica soon? No. He's still waiting on England. Why not try Oxford, Toney, Ferguson? We try Phillips, Niles, JFF, etc. JFF scouting. Dennis Brown, Jamaica need 2 good defenders and we're good. I think we need more than that, to be honest with you. Can players such as Jayden Brown and Nathan Ferguson train with the Reggae Boys in camp even if they're not committed to the federation? Well, the camp in March, which will be a UK-based camp, even if you don't have a Jamaican passport, you will have the opportunity to train. The only question is who will be invited to that. That raises a number of questions. There's also question marks as to where the camp will be in it as well. If the camp will be, for example, in Manchester, then you can expect some Mancunian-born Jamaicans in there that are attached to clubs like Man United, Man City, Bolton, Wigan, Bury not around again, Rochdale, FC United, Stratford Paddock. If the camp was in like Birmingham, no, then you would have players that are attached to West Brom, Aston Villa, Wolves, Coventry, Birmingham City, Walsall. If it was in London, if the camp was in London, then certainly you'd have players that are attached to Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham, Fulham, Brentford, Barnet, etc. You get my point. You get my point, 110%. And if the camp was in the northeast, then clearly players that are attached, that have Jamaican roots, that are attached to clubs such as Newcastle, Sunderland, Middlesbrougugh, Darlington. Yeah, you get the drift. You get the Bravo. The thing is that England has a lot of players playing in the forward position. They have less at CDM. Yeah. Will Clybert represent Curacao? No, I doubt it. Was Nicholas Gioacchini ever on our radar? He was on my radar. I've been aware of him for quite some time, 2, 3 years, but the GFFs, I know. On a scale 1 to 10, how would you rate the GFF scouting and recruitment? 0. Why can't GFF just get Ethan Pinnock? Vern, you need to understand that you're not going to call up every single human being on the planet. Was watching Haitian Football League and they have better fields than Jamaica. Do you think Jamaica lacks development in this area compared to Haiti? Yes. Does the GFF scout any English-based under-20 players? No. Is Chet Adams interested in playing for Jamaica? No. What about Clayton Donaldson? Where is he? He is either in League 1 or League 2. 36, 37 by now. Don't see him getting a return to Jamaica, to be honest with you. Are Jamaica in danger of being overtaken by Curacao and Haiti? Yes. Yes, of course. Curacao, Suriname, and Bermuda will be calling their League 1, League 2, and Championship players. Stay there. Naki Wells banging in the goals for Bristol City, so stay there. Goals are coming. You know what I mean? Absolutely. I reckon Jay should be playing teams like Poland, Israel, Scotland for different playing styles. What do you reckon, Simon? My thing is this though. We are running out of time heading into the World Cup qualifiers. We have a limited time, right? So what's going to happen right now is this. The next FIFA date is March, and then the next FIFA date after that is the World Cup qualifiers. So we have this amount of time left. We have the Catalonia fixture in March, and possibly we can be able to arrange one more friendly match. After that, it's straight down to business. It's crunch time. So although it would be great to play against a Poland, play against a Germany, play against a Italy, play against a Bosnia, it's still the time is against us. So that's why I don't see it happening at all. I think World Cup qualifiers kick off in June, actually. Do you think Arufa and Gray will be in the next squad? I think one of the two. One of the two. I wouldn't say both, but I think one of the two. If you look at what Tapa has been doing, he's gently introducing new players. It's not wholesale additions to the squad. We saw Greg Lee, right? We saw Ravel Morrison, right? We saw Daniel Johnson, right? We saw Norman Campbell, right? So that's 4 new additions, right? So I expect it to be a gentle bleed into the team, not wholesale 6 new faces, 10 new faces, 12 new faces. Not at all. Don't see that at all for the team. So, yeah. So, Reggae Boys fans, can Tariq Lamptey play for Jamaica? No, but Ghana. Why has Bermuda had trouble calling in their UK-based players, while Montserrat has had players such as Donovan Daniels, etc.? I don't know, but there's been some issues with the Bermuda Football Association for quite some time and players. Bobby Reed deserves a chance. Bobby Reed is getting his chance and will play. That last friendly before the World Cup qualifier should be against a decent opposition, something different, like I said, a random country. I don't foresee it, but it is a good idea. I don't think it will happen, but definitely it's something that will happen. That I don't think it's something that will happen though. But yes, it's something that I will happen moving forward. So, Reggae Boys fans, I appreciate your interest and your comments this evening in the videos. I really, really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to Reggae Boys Commentary. As I said, we're this close to 7,000 subscribers. I will be working on throughout the course of the next couple of weeks as well, being able to introduce or show you the tactics and my plans for how I operate for the World Cup qualifiers. As far as 2020 is as a whole, what are your thoughts of Jamaica? Would you give us a 6 out of 10? A 7 out of 10? Granted, we only played 3 friendly internationals. We beat Bermuda 2-0 at the Montego Bay Sports Complex. We lost 3-0 to Saudi Arabia and we beat them 2-1. So in all, we scored 4 goals and conceded 4 goals. Yeah, look at that. So we played 3 games and look at that. As far as 2020 is concerned, we know the challenges that the year presented itself, but my positive for the year, my highlight of the year, was to finally see Ravel Morrison in a Reggae Boys jersey and finally seeing Daniel Johnson in a Reggae Boys jersey. You all know, for those of you that are on the Reggae Boys forum, you know that 10 years ago, back in 2010, I have been talking about this kid from he was in the academy of Aston Villa. All of you know that. And from 2013, you all knew when Captain Horace Burrell mentioned my name at the press conference about Ravel Morrison. You all know that. And you see where we are? 7 years later, Ravel Morrison is a national player and Daniel Johnson is a national player. So for me, those are the highlights. But I must tell you though, what I'm extremely disappointed with and what I'm extremely livid with is we don't call up a player when they're hot. That's the best time to call up a player. When was Jermaine Beckford at his best of his career? Jermaine Beckford was the best player of his version, 2009-2010 season, Leeds United getting promoted to the Championship. When did we call him up? 3 years later, when he was on his way. Right? When did we call up Joby McAnuff? 2013. Granted, he made his debut 2002. But Joby McAnuff was one of the best players in the Championship 2007 to around 2012. When did we call up Gareth McCleary? To be honest with you, the few players that we've called up when they've been here, Naira Nosworthy and Adrian Mariappa. Players have to be called up when they're on form. It doesn't make sense to call them 10 years down the road. We're fortunate that Daniel Johnson is 27, 28. We can't dilly-dally anymore. We can't. So if we want to make Qatar a reality, I promise you, it won't be down to a lack of quality. It won't. Because the quality is there. The question is if they're going to be called up and if they're going to be managed. So the accountability will not be on players once the best team is called up. You have to look at the coaching staff and you have to look at the administration. 7 years. 7 years we have to wait on Ravel Morrison. I could tell you the conversation that Paul Hall had with him. I was in Nando's in 2017, a UK-based restaurant, and Paul Hall just sitting down and having a chat with Ravel, and I'm listening to what they're saying, and I'm like, Paul Hall has to be doing this work. But anyways, they're in the mix. The positive for me is definitely Ravel Morrison, Daniel Johnson. Competition for Kemar Taxi Lawrence. Those are my three positives for 2020. Goal of the year? Come on, that's an easy one, isn't it? Daniel Johnson with that left foot. Brilliant. Brilliant. We must also give special credit as well to the goal done by Kemar Bushy Beckford on the counter attack. Great work done on the left hand side from Kemar Malcolm, freeing up Bushy Beckford into the back of the net against Bermuda. Simon, how old are you? I am 3 cubed. Roof is better striker? Roof is a better striker than Gray. Yeah. Jamaican Ryan. Well, I agree that Toney's form is currently better. Yeah, man, for sure. Maybe we have to wait 7 years for Ivan Toney. No, that time Ivan Toney is gonna be 35 or more. Much appreciated, Trent Bourne. Really appreciate it. So let's do hope that we can be able to get in the new faces that I've spoken about. Can we get Mikel Antonio? No, we can't, because Mikel Antonio has turned us down twice, and he's already stated his intention about remaining to play for England. Yeah. If we wait 7 years for Toney, then he's going to be 30s. You know what I'm saying? Do you think Lewis Baker will ever represent Jamaica? Nope. Not at all. Not at all. I don't think so at all. You can continue to name names until thy kingdom come. All of those 100 and odd players will not. And remember, this is not the first time we're in this sort of scenario. We can go back to 2010 or 2014 qualifiers when we had somebody like Kieran Aggard banging in goals for Everton's academy. You know, we can speak about players like him. We can speak about Ricky Stapleton in Leicester City's academy, scoring goals. Jamaican born, by the way. Francino Francis at Watford. We can speak about Damion Francis. We can speak about loads of players, really. So it's not the first time that we're in a scenario where there's so much individuals part of available to us. We've had many players available to us even from the 90s, you know? So any news on where Flemings is going? No, but there are opportunities, talks with European teams. So let's see. Ollie Watkins, Jamaican background? Yes, his mother's side. St. Anne. Are you concerned about the lack of youth talent to partner with Bailey for 2026? No, I'm not concerned. No, because the youth will be there. The question is if they'll be called up. Everton monitoring Ivan Toney. Yes, I understand that very much indeed. By March 2021, how many new players will be eligible for selection? Probably 5. Was Walter Boyd the best Jamaican player ever? Yeah, he's up there, you know. If you're going strictly in terms of ability on a football, then he has to be up there. But you know, I mean, my favorite Jamaican player of all time is Andy Lowe, but my first hero was Dion Burton. But what Walter Boyd did with a football, man, jeez, this guy could play any league in the world, any top league in the world. Yeah, Kemaru's goal against Standard Liège was brilliant, wasn't it? Do you expect to have an official role with the JFF in the next decade? I don't know what the future lies ahead of me. But if you guys think that I have ability, then I think things will fall into place. If you guys think that I have the ability to do good work. Name the 5 players. I've already done that countless amount of times. I'll repeat it again. I believe that Liam Moore. I believe that Isaac Hayden. I believe that Rolanda Aarons. I believe that Ivan Toney. I believe that Kemar Roof. If you add those 5, then Qatar 2022 is a reality. I'm working on the Patreon for sure, but you guys are gonna have to pay $5 US, and the Patreon is gonna be exclusive content. I tell you, like scoops about where a player is going to move, or scoops about conversations that the players have had with certain clubs, or scoops about whose passport is ready and whose is not. Yeah, $5 US. All right, guys, or maybe 10. We'll work on that. We'll work on that for sure. Big up Andy Lowe. Yeah, man, let me tell you something. To this day, for everybody, after you've watched this video, or maybe on the weekend if you want, watch Andy Lowe's goal against Costa Rica 2001 at the Estadio Ricardo Saprissa Stadium in San Jose. This guy turned from the halfway line, took the ball to goal, and unleashed a bomber with the left foot. This guy, man. Arguably the best player that never played in the English Premier League. For me. Do you see Kevin Lambert ever playing in the EPL? I think he's more suited for the German style, to be honest with you. Man, them must at times hard. Look, it's up to Uno if Uno want the scoop, you know. It's up to Uno if Uno want the scoop or not. How much do you actually rate Rolanda Aarons? Rolanda Aarons is certainly in our 18-man squad. My favorite JA players were Ricardo Gardner and Fuller. That's what BM says. Okay. What do you think about a 4-1-4-1? I am open to the idea. Yo, Jungle Smokyville, come on, come on. You know it's Hillel Academy all day long. 51 Upper Markway, Kingston 8. We are the kings of Kingston 8. We are learning for a living. We are the kings of the Uptown Derby, all right? Don't mention AISK in here. Come on. It's Hillel Academy straight. We don't buy our players. We are homegrown players. We are Jamaican born players. All right? AISK is for expats. We are Jamaicans at Hillel. All right? We're Jamaican born people at Hillel. All right? AISK is the expats then. But guess what? We are Jamaicans. You know who we produce? Do you know who we really produce? We produce Luca Levy. We produce Justin McMasters. I had the privilege of playing with both of them, and I saw the potential from both of them. I had the opportunity to offer encouragement to Luca Levy. He was a right back at that time, I can tell you, when I was a centre half. I knew this kid had potential. I never thought he would go on to playing as a central midfielder, but I knew exactly what he would do on a pitch. Do you know when the next FIFA rankings comes out? The last Thursday in December. Yeah. Simon, why you don't advise the JF on some of these players? I've done so. My mates at ASK might grumble. Yo, come on, man. Hillel are the best in everything. Hillel is the best in everything. Football, basketball, tennis, swimming, food in the canteen. The only thing ASK have over us is better laptops. That's all. That is all. Do you think a Caribbean league would be good for Caribbean development? I'm open to the idea of a Caribbean league. I just don't see it realistic in the next decade. Simon, I played Hillel Academy in under 14, under 17. I beat them 6-0. When was that? 1910? Project, let me tell you something. 2010, we went through an adjustment in our football, and we're sleeping giants. So we became the Manchester City under transition. So we're nowhere near that 6 love or 8 love that you talk about. Do you think the US coach will be the worst in the Oxagon? No, not at all. Is Lascelles eligible for Jamaica? Yes. Is Canada our biggest threat to finishing 3rd? Yes. Yeah, he'll have a very good pitch, yeah. You need to have a decent squad now. Where's Luca Levy playing now? Harbour View. Is Martini the best non-FIFA member in the world? Them and Guadeloupe. Yes. French Guiana. Yeah, them and French Guiana. Where's Aaron's playing now? On loan. Was for best footed team, don't argue, Simon. Yeah, I can understand that for prep school. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Vas prep and Mona prep for prep school. Yeah, man. For sure. Simon, are you the best reporter? Oh, you're just making a statement. Well, I appreciate your kind words, Trent Boring. I appreciate it. I'll keep up the hard work and keep working hard, So I appreciate your kind words. I'll continue doing what I have to do. I'm doing what I love. And as you can see, I don't walk with no paper or anything. I'm speaking straight from here. So what I say to you is true, it's factual, and to the point. So, I'll do my best. How you see us doing against Mexico and USA with this team? In a one-off game, I think we can get some points, to be honest with you. The away games will certainly be a challenge. Catalonia to me is the best non-FIFA member with Kirk and most of the Barca players. They are a good team, aren't they? The only challenge they have is that they don't get to meet together or play all the time. They play probably once every 2 years or once every 3 years. I think Jamaica youth national team development is poor. Yeah, that's why we need an Andrew Edwards, to be honest with you. Andrew Edwards, David Ferguson, up people like them. Junglist, I don't know who you are, but yeah, that's how uptown people can't play football, but that is the absolute furthest thing from the truth. Because if you ask your sources, they will tell you that there's a reason why they call me Rio Ferdinand. What will it take to get the playing surfaces in Jamaica up to par? Money, 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 money. I'll end the video on this, right? You guys have been asking time and time again, what are my thoughts about this and that and this and that and this and that. Look, what is there to say, really? We've heard both sides of the story. We've heard Kyle's side of the story and we've heard Craig's side of the story, right? They've said that they're going to handle the matter privately. I have no problem with it. Let them work it out privately. So that's it where that is concerned. If it is that Craig did that Kyle said that he did, then it's sad. It should never have been done if that was done. But to this minute, we don't even have any video evidence to show that. We see wounds and all of that. But we don't know who. But it was done. And it's very, very sad. So, it's between father and son to work out. It's not for me to fix their problem. It's between father and son. There comes a point in a young man's life where he has to stand up to his father and tell him how he feels. And sometimes even vice versa as well. So it's up for them to work it out. Okay? Yep, Ivan Toney's on fire. What are your thoughts on Martin Davis? Making strides. Let's temper it. Let him be a bit more consistent with it. And let's ensure this is not a season. But yeah. Couple in League 1 and League 2 are looking at him for sure. Alright guys. Thanks very much for tuning into Regular Voice Commentary. Really, really appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the big thumbs up. Alright? Really, really would appreciate it. I'm going to head over to Instagram now. Follow me on Instagram at simon.preston. And I will be able to do an Instagram live over there. And in addition to that, follow me on Twitter at SimyP93 so you can get the latest updates about players, movement, matches, etc. Alright guys, thank you very much. Alright, thank you very much and take care guys. Later.